What's going on, guys? It's Joe here from Financially Savvy, back with another update on my journey towards financial freedom and my net worth. But more specifically, what I wanted to do in this video today was share with you the exact process that I've personally used to track my finances, every aspect of my finances, and grow my family's net worth from minus 40,000 5 years ago to over £300,000 that it sits at today. So what we're looking at right here is the spreadsheet that I started building 5 years ago now, when I decided enough was enough and I wanted more for me and my family financially. What we're looking at right here is the monthly balance sheet. So this is basically our budgeting tool. We also use this to track our finances throughout the month as well. So at the beginning of each month, we set our plan right here in these plan columns. And then throughout each month, we track our progress against our budget. So our spending progress against our budget in these actual columns. That way we can see how we're trending towards the predefined limits that we set ourselves and make sure that we don't go over budget. Gives us that ability throughout the month to pivot if we need to and make an informed decision about what to do with our spending for the rest of the month to make sure we stay within that budget that we set. Now, the most powerful thing about this tab of the spreadsheet that I love is that it tells us what our free cash flow is at the beginning of the month. So if I take out all of our savings and investments at the beginning of the month, like we normally do, what we do is we set out everything that we know we need to spend, right? So we have all of our fixed costs, all of our luxuries as such, holidays, things we have planned, trips and things like that, plan all of that stuff in, make sure we're, living the life that we want to, that provides us with the fulfillment and the happiness that we want. And then what we do is we determine how much free cash flow we have left over after doing those things. After doing those things, you can see here we had just over 3K. So what we've done is we've distributed that between all of our savings and investment goals to ensure that we're maximizing that amount of free cash flow that we have. And then that gives us the ability to make sure that that money isn't then just sat in our accounts waiting to be spent on stuff that we haven't planned for. We're paying ourselves first at the beginning of the month, after planning in the things that we want to do that are important to us, and then we save and invest everything else. It also shows us our income and our outgoings down here in these nice visual charts that you see here, as well as our monthly expenses via the different categories that we have listed out. And then it also automatically calculates our savings rate, which is sitting at 34%. So our target is to be 30 to 40% at all times. And this month we actually booked a holiday and we were still able to stay above 30%, which we're really happy with. The next tab of the spreadsheet is the yearly expenses tab. Now, this basically does everything that the previous tab does. However, it does give us the ability to track things like holidays and gifts and insurance and what we spend on those things over the period of an entire year. Now, this isn't something that I really look at regularly. It's something that I just track. What I use this for is to determine what my life is going to look like, or help to estimate the costs that I'm going to have in retirement. And that's really important, because if I were to say to you now, okay, you want to retire at say 55, 60, right? How much money are you going to spend every year on holidays? How much money are you going to spend every year on gifts? How much money are you going to spend every year on home, car, and life insurance, right? It'd be really hard to just pluck numbers out of the air for most of those things, especially holidays, right? So this is why I track our expenses over the period of a year, because then when it comes to estimating our expenses in retirement, we know exactly how much we're spending on holidays today, and we can take that number and say, okay, we're traveling this much right now and we're spending X amount. Are we going to want to be traveling more when we stop working? Probably. Okay, we need to increase that amount, and we've got like a nice fluid basis upon which to make that estimation with real-time data. So it makes that estimation much more accurate. And that brings me on to this tab, which is the expenses and retirement tab. In this tab, like I just mentioned, we plan out what our life is going to look like, or what the kind of lifestyle we want to have in retirement, and it tells us what our FI number is. And then basically using a series of calculations and estimations on estimated returns on our investments, we can determine if we're going to achieve that number and by when we are going to achieve that number. Now, this is slightly more complicated. I'm not going to go into that in this video. I'll go into that in another video later in the month. The next tab of the spreadsheet is the savings tab. So this graph here tracks both our freedom savings, so our retirement or early retirement savings in our situation, as well as our other savings, such as, other savings goals for things like Christmas, car maintenance, and our emergency fund as well. So again, this just gives us a nice visual representation of where our savings sit right now and whether they are trending upwards or downwards. And you can see everything's going up in a nice, clear upwards trajectory, which is what you want to see. It also tracks our house equity and our other assets and the value of those, as well as our debts, which you can see are coming down. And it uses all of that information to automatically calculate what our net worth is. Now, this is important because I look at my net worth as like the current health status of our current finances. And all things considered, they're looking very healthy, right? You can see that our net worth from the jump off point of December last year has gone up from 232,000 to 307,000. So it's gone up by over 70K in less than a year. Now, this is the fastest our net worth has ever grown, and this is because we focused wholeheartedly on increasing our household income and investing more of that income whilst keeping our expenses the same. And that is the key to building long-term wealth. Now, the whole reason we've been able to really grow our net worth that quickly is because we have been tracking our finances in this way. It enables us to see exactly what impact each of our financial decisions is having on our finances, as well as enabling us to make informed decisions about what to do with our money throughout each month and each week and each year, in order to ensure that our net worth continues to go in the direction that we want it to go in. So if you're not already tracking your finances in this way, obviously I highly recommend you go and do it. If you do need any help, please reach out. But for now, that brings me to the end of this video. So I hope you found this helpful. If you enjoyed this video and you did find it helpful, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button right now. Please do it. New to this, would help out a huge amount for the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. I post one of these videos every single month just to make sure that you guys, just to keep myself accountable to you guys, show you that I'm practicing what I preach. So would appreciate all the love that you can give to the video. Make sure you leave a comment below if you've got any questions. I'll leave a link below to this spreadsheet where you can get 50% off the next 25 copies. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.